Hi there, everyone. Good day. Welcome to this session. Now, for today, we are going to learn about the basic input output in Java using graphical user interface. Now, a little bit or a basic of GUI. Okay, so last time we have this a program that will only run on that we see our output, and we also enter our inputs in a console base. Now this time we're going to be discussing about how to create a program in which we can actually enter data or input data to a simple UI, which is using JOption pane. Okay, for that, for today's topic, let's have create a class. Okay, and then after that, let's name it my J option pane. Okay, and then JOP stands for J option pane. All right, so let's stick this one, public static void main string, and then there you are, where we now have a J option pane. I mean a program, and then we can start writing a J option pane program. Okay, for let's start with the very basic one, which is uh, we want to display message. We want to display, and then let's say, for instance, we are going to display a hello world or uh, a confirmation or a message. Any message will do. So let's say, for an instance, we have here JOption pane. By the way, it's under javax.swing. And the moment you type JOP, and then it has this IntelliSense, actually. It has a code completion. All you just need to do is click that, and then you have here, there you are now. It is now actually imported under javax.swing JOption pane component. Actually, Java has a lot of swing components, and we're gonna be using one component only for today, which is JOption pane class. So for today, we are going to have the JOption pane. Okay, everything that we can actually learn from here. So right here, we have here the options in which we can actually create um, different manner of displaying a message. We can actually choose the simplest one, which is this. This requires two parameters or arguments. So let's choose on this one. And since the first one is the parent component, and we don't have any UI component right here except for JOption pane, let's put it that way as like null. No, let's take it as it is. And then for this one, actually, it doesn't give you any error because the args is a valid identifier from string. But this time we're gonna be uh, displaying or using something a display a message. Let's say, for an instance, hello there. Okay, so this message dialog is actually used for displaying something. No? You can have after every transaction, you might as well give user a message to what is happening after the each transaction, after the transaction. Okay, so let's get to run the program, and we are actually, or we are, yeah, we're actually able to display hello there as a in our screen rather than in the console. Okay, so that's actually JOption pane. You can have like JOption pane that show message. So we can actually choose any of this, like putting a title plus the message type. So in the message type, we can actually, it's an int value. We can actually use the integer value for that. Now for this one, it's a string title. Therefore, if you're gonna be using this one, we can actually, how many parameters do we have right here? So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the order should be followed. So we can actually choose that one. Okay. let's stick to the null, and then so you can actually move this one in the next line so that it will fit in this I mean for in the screen. In my case kasi it's like I have to make this one fit in our screen because I'm recording the screen. If I'll be maximizing this one, it would not be recognized by my by our OBS. Anyway, this time let's have here a, let's say, what was that, the something like a message. So let's say this is a um, you have records stored stored successfully, something like that. And then we can actually enter this one, and then let's say for an instance we have in your case you cannot you don't have to enter or move this one to the next line. It just this is just the case of my demonstration. So you can have right here, let's say this is say a storing. Okay, right. So right here you can have the like the 0, you can have 1, you can have 2, you can have 3, up to 3 rather. So I mean up to 3 only integer value. So later on we're gonna be what they call this one. We're gonna be using each one of this integer value. So I'm gonna make this one. Okay, so let's make this as, let's comment this one out. So right here, as you can see, you're able to display a record stored successfully. So that 0 right there, this one is the caption, and then this one storing is the title of the JOptionPane or the UI component, and then this one is the icon right here that you actually set for that. It's a error message. So you can have the 0 message is actually 0. I mean the error is actually uh, you if you want to use the error message, you can actually use 0 instead. You can have 1 for information message. You can have 2 for warning message, and then question for 3 message, like a question icon, and then we have a plain message which is actually 1. Okay, so let's make use of each of that. Let's see what's the output. So let's say this one is 1. You have here 2. You have here like 3. And let's say we have it like 4. So let's say if I haven't mentioned a 4, let's say if it will be recognized later on. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 as our icon. So our type rather, our icon type. So you have this is the first one. So this is the with regards to the OS, it depends on what you are actually using. This one is actually something like I in Windows, but in my case, I don't have it right here. So I don't know what seems to happen, but in Windows, it's actually an I value right here. So something like information. All right. So you have here record stored successfully. This is the warning message. This is for 2, and then we have also here in the this is 3, supposed to be this is question. So supposed to be this has icon question. You can try it in your if you are actually using Windows, you have it there a question message, and then or like question mark icon. And then as you can see, you have an error because as I've said, we it can only have the value has its limit. I mean, you can only use the values. You can only use the values for from 0 to 3, in between 0 and 3 rather. So therefore, this one is it will give us an error. So because again 0 to 3 lang siya. Okay, so for that, we can actually, instead of using this one, the zero or the uh, integer values, we can actually use something like, you can start with J option pane dot, okay, let's say information message like this, no? Information message, warning message. You can also use error message. So you can actually use, instead of zero, you can actually use error message. Let's try to use that one. Okay, so there you are. I'm gonna be using error message. So it seems like, so let's make this, let's comment this one. Yeah, so let's go ahead. Let's continue running this one. So here, that's the first one. So zero, that's warning. That's the error message, and then followed by the information, followed by the warning, followed by the question supposed to be, and then the error message. So that's equivalent to, instead of zero, you can actually use J option pane error message. All right, so that's for J option pane, and there's actually a lot in there, like J option pane that show, let's say for an instance, we would like to put an icon in our J option page. So let's say for an instance, we're gonna be using this one with the icon. Okay, so it's the message, the title, then the type of the icon, or the message type, and then the icon. So for this, we can actually, so let's change this to, let's say for an instance, this is uh, pet. Okay, so let's say this is pet, and this is message. Okay, and then this is, let's say, my pets, and then this one is warning. So let's change this to, let's say, information. Say one. Excuse me, and then right here we are going to use the icon instead. So if you don't want to include any icon in this JOption pane, you can actually use null, the same way we do here in the parent component. But let's say for an instance, we are going to include icon message, or icon in our JOption pane show message. So we can actually do that by calling the image icon class. So all you just need to do is call image icon under javax.swing. So image icon. Okay, and then let's say icon is equal to new image, wait for a while, image icon. Okay, so we just instantiated an object of image icon. So by the way, as you can see here, we have uses two components in javax that swing. If you don't want to do like this every time you create if you, every time you want to use a component for swing component, like explicitly declaring them, you can actually do this one. So meaning to say, you're gonna be using all of the components, multiple components, including all components in that swing components, because of the asterisk. Now that asterisk means you instruct the your compiler to use all the components when whatever it is. Okay, either with, if it is option pane or image icon. Okay, for this time, it's a little bit tricky. It's because we have to drag directly our image here in our project, because it has to be in that way, because yeah, anyway, later on I'm gonna show you. So let's say for an instance, we have here something in the, yeah, so we have here in the desktop. So we're going to locate that one, that this one to our, we're going to drag this one, add this one to our project. So it would be better if you're going to include image sources to create a folder for your project. You can actually directly store it right here. I mean, drag it right here, but it would be better if you are going to create a folder inside of it, inside of this project. And let's say this, we will name it to images. So we have image sources, right? So as of now, we don't have any image sources right there. Once we have created an image folder, you can actually drag your pet, let's say your image sources right there. So just make sure it is pointed to the right folder or location. And then right here, this is what I meant earlier, that if you're going to if you are going to, since the image is stored in a desktop, and let's say for an instance you are going to transfer it to another workspace, or let's say transfer to another PC or computer, and then you use the same what project. Let's say you store this to your flash drive, and then you using that flash drive, you run that your project or your workspace into other different into other PC or computer. And then let's say the link files. So let's say link files is the one that you have chosen. So there might be an instance that the image will not be actually working properly. It might not work properly. So it would be better if you copy files, because because it's in the desktop and you choose copy files, it means to say that the that pet image will be instead of the original location is in the desktop in this particular computer, it should be copied in your project resource, which is whenever you use different other PC or you run your workspace, it will always be there. It will always be included in your package. Okay, so just click on OK, and then for this, you can now click this one. So you have here your pets, and what we are going to do for this one. So since this one is a lot bigger, no, I mean this is medyo like bigger size. It has a bigger size. You can actually edit this one, and Java has actually auto edit, but for that we are not going to. For today, we are not going to do that. So if what is the original like dimension, it's the same dimension that's going to be displayed in our program. Okay. So now we are now going to locate that one. So it's under images, and then after that you have, let's say, pet.png. Okay, and then you replace this null to icon. Okay, so once we run the program, it's expected to have that message in your show message dialog. So that's the last argument or parameter in the if you try to include image icon in your show message dialog. That's it for show message dialog. Now let's have another one. Okay, so let's say for an instance we have JoptionPane. So JoptionPane that show input dialog, and then let's say for an instance we are going to try to take an input from the user. So that this is our focus later on, because we expect to have basic input and output. So let's say for an instance we have here enter a number. So if show message is used for displaying a message, this one is used for entering a or getting input or entry from the user. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Okay, let's this one. So this is the input dialog. So input, show message, show input. So you can actually enter any number there. So but later on we're gonna be focusing on this one and show message dialog. But for now, I'm gonna be introducing another show input, show another J option pane dialog, which are show, what do you call this one? Show confirm and show option dialog. So let's start with the J option pane that show confirm dialog. Okay, so we have null. In the show in confirm dialog, it's like you're asking the user to what he or she will do. So for an instance, you're asking him or her to, are you sure? Are you sure you want to continue? Okay, are you sure you want to continue? And then after that, you are going to like, so you have here title and so this is the title, message, question, something like that. So let's enter this one to the next line. And then after that, we are going to have, let's say this is, so since this is question is like three, and then we have the input type. Let's say for an instance, we have J option pane that, and then the yes, no option. So are you sure you want to continue? Yes, no. So let's say for an instance, we're gonna be choosing yes, no option. All right. So that's it. So let's say I'll comment that one. So when we run the program, we have here, there's an error. I'm sorry for that. So let's check on that. What seems to be the error? So error is at line 10. Line 10, show confirm dialog, J option type must be one of J option pane. Yes, no option, yes, no, cancel option. Wait. It happened. That's right. Basin, it's because basin na subrata, no? Yeah, there you are. Subrata. Sorry. I'm sorry for that. So we have yes. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes. Are you sure you want to wait? Are you sure you want to continue? No. So that's the uh that's yes no option. So how would we catch the users interaction or users choices? Let's say if the user choose yes, of course what do we do? If the user chose no, what do we do then? So after what we will do is we are going to have in response is equal to, so you can have any, pwede lang res, any variable will do. So it's like, and then you are going to if, let's say for an instance, you have an if. Later on, we are also going to discuss this if statement, decision making. So let's say for an instance, if response is equal to, let's say, J option pane that yes, so that yes option, oh, what happened? So yes option. So what do you do? So like say for an instance, we are going to display the message with the icon. So you chose yes option. Otherwise, if the user chose no or choose no, then let's have uh, no option or something like transaction canceled or something. I don't know what you are going to display. So okay, and then let's not include icon there. Okay, so let's say we are going to run the program and then we have here yes, so it will display the yes option. And then after that, we are going to run again the program, and then let's choose no. So it's going to display, it's going to display no option. All right, so that's for response yes no option. We can also use yes no option. Yes, what do we have right here? Yes, uh, cancel, yes no cancel option, yes option only. You can have that one. So if you are going to use yes no cancel option, of course it will display yes no and cancel option. So you have three options right now. So this is for show confirm dialog. It's basically the built-in options or option dialog. Okay, so you cannot customize it like the way it has to be, the values it has written there. Let's say yes, that is always yes, and no it's no, and cancel it's cancel. But in in Java, we can actually like customize our options, and that is using show option dialog. So we have here the last one, which is show option dialog. It all you just need to do is change this to option. Okay, and then for this uh, we have to follow the order of, because the syntax is now different. So it has to be something like, this is the component. Let's say, are you sure you want to? That's a question. That's the displayed, and it's a question. And then we have here the icon. So let's not put an icon. And then what is lacking is the options you want to display in your in your message or in your JoptionPane. Let's say we have an object of like array options right here. Let's say we have, and then we have here, let's say save, edit, and close. So you want this option buttons, save, edit, and close, to be placed in your show JoptionPane using show option dialog. So again, in the show confirm dialog, you can only use the native or the built-in uh, label for like yes and no. But in the show option, you have the autonomy to use, or autonomy, but you can use any label or uh any label on your as your option in your JoptionPane. So let's say for an instance you have here the options. It has to be, meaning you are actually targeting to display, save, edit, and close. And then for this one, you'll have to, this is the default one. So meaning, if since this is an array, okay, so since this is an array, you have to, let's say 0 1, this is 0, this is 1, index 1, this is index 2. And then, meaning to say, if you are going to input 0 right here, it would be the save. Save is the default option that is going to be selected once you click on the enter, and you once you press the enter button in your keyboard. So what else? What makes this an error? So it seems like we have component, the object, the string. Okay, so we lacked one specific, like uh this one. Yes. G option. So we have now. Oh, what happened? J option pane that let's say yes, no option. And then we are going to have like, so let's try to check again. Sorry. Parent component. So we have null object, then the title, then the int option type. So it should be the option type, the 0, 1, or 2, and then followed by the message type. So where's the option type? Let's say this is 0. Mm, 1. Okay, what happened? So let's try to, so option, show option dialog, show option dialog. So right here, so again, we can actually see its documentation. So you have the parent component, so we have the null, then we have the message, are you sure you want? Then the title, question, and then the yes, no option. Okay, so baliktad tayo. So we have that is the option type, and then the message type is either information, message, or whatsoever. So this is like JoptionPane that, let's say, use no cell option, and then this one right here is, let's say this one is 1. So let's make this para ma-read nato siya. Okay. Component object string and in icon. So baliktad tayo with regards to this one. So sorry, I'm so sorry. Right there. We don't have the icon null. And then just wait for a while. I'm gonna fix this one because we're live. So I'm gonna enter this one. Okay. So this is the message type. This is the icon. So we just lacked icon earlier. So again, let me go back to our program. So we have the parent component, the display message, the title message, or the title of the option pane, and then you have the message type, option type, yes, no, cancel. Okay, you can actually use this as like null. Okay, it's not working. So yes, no, cancel option. And then for this one, you can use 1, 0 for error, 1 for warn, 1 is for information, 2 and 3, and so on and so forth. 2 up to 2 and 3. And this is for the icon. This is for the object option, which is an array. And this is option, default option, which is 0, which is saved. So let's run this program. Okay, so there you are, you're able to display. Are you sure you want to continue? Instead of displaying yes, no option, you have now here close, edit, and save. Now it's close, edit, and save. So now how do we capture this one? So for you to be able to capture that one, actually it's so easy. All you just need to do is use the index space value. It's for an instance the 0 is the response means it's either 0, 1, or 2. So either of that. So let's say for an instance, 0. So you can display here that like saving or saving, something like that. Okay, and then you can actually copy paste that one, and then let's say else if, so let's say 1. So this one is updating, so updating. And if not included in the, let's say, not 0, not 1, and not, so this is 0, 1, and 2. So not 0, not 1, and not 2. So it will be no option. The message, the display will be no option. Okay, let's try to run the program. And let's run the program now. And let's have, so as you can see, 0, meaning it's the default. No, and if I'm going to press the enter key in my keyboard, so it's going to be saving. It's saving. Okay. If I'm going to run again, and then I'll choose the index 1, which is the edit, so it's going to be updating. Okay, and then if ever I will uh, choose the close, so no option. Or if ever I will choose to close the button, it will display no option. All right, so I guess that's it for J option pane. Yeah, there's one more. I'm sorry before that. Before we'll end, I actually the J option message, J option pane class is has as you can see its components. You have show input, show message, and then you have show option dialog and show confirm dialog. There are actually 4. And then since the option pane is a class, and then we can actually create an object for our J option pane instead of calling JoptionPane every now and then. But this one is not, I would not recommend you to do this one because it's in Java, you'll have to follow the convention, because this show message, this show option dialog, show input dialog, and show confirm dialog are all static methods. Once it is a static method, it should be called by the class itself, not by the object of that class. But since but it's okay to have that. So what I'm trying to actually elaborate here is that you can actually do this one. J option shown pane, let's say JOP is equal to new J option pane. So this, you just created an object of J option pane, and instead of like uh, retyping the option pane again and again, or over again, you can just replace this with the JOP, but it will give you a warning message like this one. So the static method, ay, yan, asa na to? Where is it? So the static method show option dialog blah 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 should be accessed in a static way. So meaning dapat it should be accessed by the JoptionPane class, not the object of JoptionPane class. You can actually add suppress warning to it. Okay. So yeah, by suppressing it, it will not actually this one. It will not actually give you any warning message. So warning is okay in our program, but you have more warnings, um, if you have everything in your code is now it's uh has this warning, parang it's like most of it are a warning. So it would be better to not to follow the convention. So warning is not good, if especially if it has more of it. Okay, it's only good if it at least we have 1 or 2 or 3 warnings. But if you have more of it, so it's not okay. It's not good in your program. Okay, so I guess that would be all for today, and thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for watching the video or the tutorial about the option pane. And then the next topic will be focusing on the input and output using the option pane. Bye bye. Have a great day.